And today we're going to be discussing the Om symbol. You might have seen this symbol if you've come into Yoga on Your. It resides above the studio entranceway. And it represents consciousness, or it represents, we can spell Om, O-M, or A-U-M. And so each one of these curves actually represent something as part of our consciousness. So the first curve is deep sleep, and that is saputi. And that represents when our consciousness is completely quiet and shut down. So sometimes when we're asleep, our consciousness can be dreaming, or it's not. The megahertz of our brain, that's our brain waves, are really at their lowest beta wavelength. That's our most restorative place in our consciousness. And the second curve is the wakeful state. So we are all awake. You're listening to me, so you're awake. So that represents Jogat. And then this curve over here is the dream state. And that is, we can be awake and be dreaming, such as when we daydream, or we're kind of we're pondering, or we're thinking. So that is svapna. And like I said, we can be sleeping, so we're not aware of what's going on, or we can be awake. Typically, we think of dreaming as when we're sleeping. And then this curve right here represents illusion. And what that means is we all have our own illusion. It's our own reality, essentially, based on our experiences, based on our environment, based on, our ancestors. Scratch that one. Based on our environment and based on our surroundings. And so there's a saying that goes, we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. So Maya is illusion, and it's good or bad. It doesn't mean we're delusional in any way. We have our own illusions based on how we see through our eyes. And then this little triangular dot up here is Turiya, which means transcendence. And that's really what we want to do after we practice. We want to try and evolve ourselves upward. We want to transcend upward so that we take away some of the illusions of what colors our world and our consciousness. So if we can see things as they truly are, then we have transcended. So this whole symbol are the various components of our consciousness. And what Om, the way that I would describe Om is the all-encompassing cosmic vibration, consciousness, and sound of the universe. So my first yoga teacher said, when we came into consciousness, when our souls came into a collective consciousness, it could have been the Big Bang Theory, whatever your belief is, but when the world was created, it created a humming sound, and that's the sound of Om. So when everything is connected and brought together, it creates the sound of Om. So sometimes if you're in deep meditation, you can actually go deeper within yourself, and you might even hear the sound of the earth vibrating, the sound of Om. And the last thing I have down here, A-U-M. The A represents the creator, the creation. U is we pursue, we persevere through our journey in life. And then the M is renewal or transformation, and that's the transcendence, Turiya. That's where we want to get. So when you see this sign, you can think, it's consciousness. It's all the different components of our consciousness. and that is Om. That's why we Om at the end or the beginning or even the middle of our classes. So let's try Oming together. Deep breath in. Namaste, yogis.